Hello, hello. Screen is visible. Is the screen visible? Okay, next topic is epistaxis. Sound is clear? Okay. Epistaxis is what is epistaxis? What is epistaxis? Okay, it's bleeding from nose. Definition is epistaxis. Definition of epistaxis is bleeding from nose. It is caused by insignificant trauma to malignancy. There are various causes of epistaxis from just trauma to up to malignancy. Okay, the blood loss may be from few drops to massive blood loss up to few liters, few drops to few liters blood loss may be there through nose. Okay, epistaxis may be anterior or posterior, it may be spontaneous or it may be induced epistaxis. Okay, so it is not a disease but it is a symptom as well as a sign of the hello. Okay, epistaxis is bleeding from nose. It may occur as a result of variety of causes. Okay, there are variety of causes ranging from just a trauma to malignancy, and blood loss may vary from few drops to few liters or loss of many liters of blood. The epistaxis may be anterior or posterior. Okay, from anterior side or from posteriorly bleeding may be there, or it may be spontaneous or it may be induced bleeding. Okay, the post nasal bleeding, जो posterior side का bleeding होता है, it can be quite deceptive as the patient may swallow plenty of blood, okay, without any visible external blood loss. Post nasal bleeding में क्या होता है, you can see the blood externally, so patient may swallow plenty of blood uh, without any visible external blood loss. Okay, and a rising pulse rate may help to diagnose such occult bleeding. Okay, now the causes of epistaxis. The first one is local causes. It includes congenital causes. Congenital causes means the disease present is multiple capillary hemangiomas in the nose or on the tongue. Okay, if there are multiple capillary hemangiomas are present in the nose, then it may cause bleeding. It is a congenital condition. Then second one is trauma. The trauma to nose or trauma to paranasal sinuses or any trauma to head that may also cause bleeding from nose, that is epistaxis, and it may be associated with CSF rhinorrhea. Okay, the CSF that is present from it comes out from nose, that is CSF rhinorrhea. If there is fracture through the base of skull, if the patient is having fracture base of skull during any accidental injury, then patient may have CSF rhinorrhea, that is CSF, that is cerebrospinal fluid that comes out from nose, that is the CSF rhinorrhea. Okay, along with blood there will be CSF rhinorrhea. The next condition is post-operative. After any operative procedure of nose or any paranasal sinuses, there will be bleeding. The bleeding may be primary or it may be reactionary bleeding or there may be secondary hemorrhage. Okay. And third cause is picking of nose in little's area. Okay. Some persons may have a habit of picking of nose, and this bleeding in 90% of cases, bleeding is because of picking of nose. The arteries that unite in the little's area, little's area, arteries unite to form a Kisselbach's plexus. Kisselbach's plexus are formed in the little's area, and these are situated submucosally. Okay, there and therefore little scratching or little picking or any trauma will cause epistaxis, that is bleeding from nose. And after bleeding, when the bleeding stops, there will be clot formation. Bleeding stop होता है तो फिर clot form होता है, and patient again that person again tries to remove that clot, and further there will be bleeding. This process goes on. So picking of nose is one of the cause for epistaxis. Okay, any difficulty? Is there any difficulty? वो छुट्टी के मूड में ही हो गया तुम लोग। लेक्चर का कुछ, निखिल सर ने बोला है लेक्चर लेने को ऐसे। हेलो, आवाज येत नाही। आर यू विजयपाल? हाँ, तुम्हारा आवाज क्यों इतना ये हो रहा है, ब्रेक हो रहा है? क्या बोल रहे हो तुम? ओके, क्या बोल रहे हो? हॉलिडेला पण लेक्चर घ्यायला सांगितलेत, हॉलिडेला पण लेक्चर घ्यायला सांगितलेत सरांनी. हेलो, तो क्या करना है, लेना है नहीं लेना है? लेना है कि नहीं लेना है लेक्चर? ओके ओके, चलो ठीक है। एनी डिफिकल्टी इन ट्रॉमेटिक कॉजेस? ओके, trauma to nose, trauma to paranasal sinuses or head, and second one is post-operative trauma and picking of nose. Okay, in traumatic causes. Third one is inflammatory causes. When there is any acute inflammation, infection, or chronic infection or inflammation, that will also cause bleeding. So acute inflammation, the causes under acute conditions, those are specific. We have seen nasal diphtheria, okay, in rhinitis. Nasal diphtheria is characterized by there will be a membrane formation, and if the person tries to remove that membrane, there will be bleeding. So this nasal diphtheria, there will be blood stained discharge from the nose. So that is one of the condition, acute inflammatory condition. Then second one is non-specific condition like acute vestibulitis, acute rhinitis, acute sinusitis, and adenoids. In these conditions also there will be bleeding. These are also inflammatory condition, rhinitis, sinusitis or vestibulitis or adenoids. Okay. Then The chronic inflammatory conditions like the non-specific conditions like chronic rhinitis, chronic sinusitis, rhinitis sicca, and atrophic rhinitis. All these conditions we have seen in under the topic rhinitis. Okay, so in all these conditions, there may be the epistaxis may be present in these conditions. Then under specific chronic inflammatory conditions like rhinosporidiosis, rhinosporidiosis is characterized by mulberry-like red polypoidal swelling in the nose, and that may bleed profusely. Then other conditions like tuberculosis, syphilis, leprosy, or lupus, these may affect the nose, and in those conditions there will be bleeding. The next one is neoplasms. The angiomas from nasal septum may also bleed profusely. Okay, angioma that is present on the nasal septum, it may also bleed profusely. Then nasopharyngeal angiofibroma. This is also one of the uh, this is also a condition where there is epistaxis. And malignant conditions, uh, the maxillary sinus and ethmoidal sinus are the common sites for malignancy, and in elderly patients with unilateral epistaxis should be suspected for malignancy. If the patient is elderly and if that patient is having unilateral epistaxis, then you can suspect for malignancy. And the common areas of malignancy is maxillary or and ethmoidal sinus. Okay, so these are the malignant conditions: angioma of nasal septum, nasopharyngeal angiofibroma, and third one is malignancy that is present in the maxillary sinus and ethmoidal sinus, but it mostly it is seen in elderly patients, and there will be unilateral epistaxis. Then other miscellaneous conditions like foreign body or any nasal parasite or rhinolith or vicarious menstruation may also cause bleeding. Okay, what is vicarious menstruation? Do you know? Okay, there will be bleeding from nose during menses. Okay, so these are the miscellaneous conditions like foreign body or nasal parasite, rhinolith or vicarious menstruation. These will also cause epistaxis. All these are the local causes. Okay, these are the local causes. Congenital conditions like hemangiomas, traumatic conditions, and inflammatory conditions. And last one is neoplasms and some miscellaneous conditions. Now the systemic causes of epistaxis. So first cause of under systemic causes is hypertension. Hypertension is one of the cause of epistaxis. Then second one is other bleeding disorders like hemophilia or purpura or leukemia or Hodgkin's disease. These are the conditions where there may be epistaxis may be present. Okay. Then increased pressure in superior vena cava. It is one of the condition when there is increased pressure in superior vena cava, and that may be because of mitral stenosis or superior mediastinal tumor or whooping cough or pneumonia. If the patient is having mitral stenosis or superior mediastinal tumor or whooping cough or pneumonia, then there will be increased pressure in superior vena cava, and that will cause epistaxis. Next one is environmental causes. Environmental causes, it is due to reduced atmospheric pressure and dryness. Epistaxis may occur at high altitudes or in Caison's disease. So environmental causes due to decreased atmospheric pressure and dryness in high altitude may cause bleeding from the nose. Then infections like bleeding due to dryness and congestion of nose, like viral or enteric or rheumatic or infective endocarditis. Okay, infections like viral fevers or enteric fever or rheumatic fever or infective endocarditis. These infections may also cause epistaxis. Then drugs like salicylates, anticoagulants, quinine, because of using these drugs, there may also epistaxis and other idiopathic causes. Another cause that may be present is chronic renal failure or uremia or toxemia may also cause bleeding from the nose. So these are the systemic causes: hypertension, bleeding disorders, increased pressure in SVC or superior vena cava, or some environmental causes like dryness of weather in high altitudes that may also cause bleeding. Then infections like viral infection or enteric fever or rheumatic fever or infective endocarditis. These infections will cause epistaxis, and drugs, some drugs like salicylates or anticoagulants or quinine. So these are the systemic causes. Then there are some common causes that are of epistaxis in children, like foreign body. In children, mostly these are the common causes: foreign body or nasal diphtheria or vestibulitis or hypertrophic adenoids with secondary congestion in nose, and some idiopathic causes. So these are the causes that are common in children. Because of foreign body that is present in nose or nasal diphtheria. Nasal diphtheria is that occurs in children only. Then vestibulitis and hypertrophic adenoids and other idiopathic causes. Then there are some common causes of epistaxis in elderly. Like in elderly persons, there will be hypertension, which is common. Then malignancy is common in elderly persons, and some idiopathic causes. Then there are some common sites of epistaxis, like first one is nasal septum. The, किसका माइक चालू है? हॅलो, माईक कुणाचं चालू आहे? सगळे आवाज येतात आहे. Okay, there are common sites of epistaxis. First one is nasal septum, or the little area that is present on nasal septum. In 90% of cases, there will be, this is the common site for epistaxis. Then second site is above the middle turbinate, and third side is Woodruff's plexus, that is behind the posterior end of inferior turbinate. It is Woodruff's plexus is behind the posterior end of inferior turbinate. So these are the common sites of epistaxis or bleeding from nose. Now the clinical features. The quantity of bleeding may vary from little to lethal. That is, patient may die because of severe epistaxis. Patient may land into shock-like condition and death may occur. So, the quantity may vary from little to profuse. Then there will be anterior bleeding or posterior bleeding. Bleeding may be anteriorly or by on the posteriorly, that is postnasal bleeding. Patient will go on swallowing uh, or may spit the blood. Okay, when there is bleeding from nose, patient may swallow it, because if the bleeding is post nasally, then patient may swallow it or he may spit it. Okay, then the bleeding may be continuous or it may be intermittent. The hemoptysis or hematemesis may be present. What is hemoptysis and what is hematemesis? Okay, hematemesis is emesis, that is vomiting of blood. Hemoptysis is blood in cuff. Okay, the swallowed or inhaled blood that may be present these conditions like hemoptysis or hematemesis. There will be as anxiety. Patient may become anxious because of bleeding, and there may be the shock may be present in cases of severe epistaxis. Okay, when there is severe epistaxis, when there is bleeding from nose in liters, then patient may land into shock. Okay, then investigations. Okay, you have to check the blood pressure of the patient. Hypertension is one of the cause, or you have to check the blood pressure of that patient. The cause may be hypertension. If the patient is elderly and if he is having hypertension, then that is one of the cause for bleeding. Or when the if the patient is in when there is hypotension, then it may be because of loss of blood. Okay, when there is loss of blood, when there is profuse bleeding, patient may have hypotension. Then hemogram, you have to check the hemogram. Anemia may be a primary or secondary to the epistaxis. Then you have to do the test for coagulation for the bleeding disorders. So we have seen in causes, systemic causes, there are bleeding disorders like leukemia or hemophilia or purpura. These conditions will cause epistaxis. So you have to go for test for coagulation for these bleeding disorders. Then you have to do CT scan, because the causes of bleeding, there may be trauma or any accidental injury or any malignancy that may be present. So you have to go for CT scan or MRI. Then endoscopy of nose or paranasal sinuses to detect the bleeding point. You have to do endoscopy of nose or paranasal sinuses to detect the bleeding point. Then lastly, treatment, management of this case, management of epistaxis. First one is specific cause. If present, then that should be treated. If you know the specific cause of that bleeding, then that should be treated first. Then first aid of epistaxis is, do you know the treatment of epistaxis? क्या करते हैं epistaxis हुआ, bleeding हो रहा है nose से, तो first aid will be, what will be the first aid? Hello, what will you do when there is bleeding from nose? First aid क्या होगा अगर there is bleeding from nose? नहीं पता है किसी को भी. Okay, the first aid will be ice of cold pack on the bridge of nose that may arrest the bleeding by vasospasm. Okay, because of icy cold water or ice pack on the bridge of nose that will arrest the bleeding because of vasospasm. That will be vasospasm and the bleeding will be arrested. Then pinching of nose for a minute will press the little area and will stop the bleeding. Okay, so you have to pinch the nose for a minute, and because of pressure effect on the little area, that will stop the bleeding. Then there is Trotter's procedure. Patient in Trotter's procedure that is used for mostly in hypertensive epistaxis. If the patient is having hypertensive epistaxis, that is epistaxis because of hypertension, then this procedure is applied. That is, a patient sits up and he is slightly inclined forward. Okay, slightly inclined forward with open mouth, and he should breathe quietly, and not, he is not allowed to swallow the blood, but he should spit the blood out. Okay, patient should be in sitting position with slight inclination forward with mouth open, and patient should breathe quietly. Patient should not allowed to swallow that blood, but he should spit the blood out. Okay, that is the Trotter's procedure. Then there is local management. This is the first aid treatment. Then local management is cautery. If you know the bleeding point, that is, if the bleeding point is visible, it can be cauterized with 15% of silver nitrate or 50% of trichloroacetate acid, and sometimes electrocautery is required with the help of endoscopy. With the help of endoscopy, you can go for electrocautery. So if the bleeding point is visible, you have to cauterize it with 15% silver nitrate or 50% trichloroacetate acid, acetic acid. Then second procedure is packing, that is anterior packing, anterior nasal packing or posterior post nasal packing. Anterior nasal packing में क्या करते हैं, nose is packed with ribbon gauze that is impregnated with lubricant like Vaseline or liquid paraffin. Okay, anterior packing is done when the epistaxis persist. अगर जो first aid treatment है, first aid treatment will include ice packing, ice cold packing or pinching of nose. If the bleeding doesn't stop, if the epistaxis persists, then the nose is packed with a ribbon gauze with lubricants like Vaseline. Okay, a ribbon gauze that is packed in the anterior side in the nasal cavity. That is anterior packing. that should be lubricated with Vaseline or liquid paraffin. Then second one is post nasal packing. If the bleeding persists even after anterior nasal packing, then post nasal packing is required, and that is done under the general anesthesia. This procedure, that is post nasal packing, is done under general anesthesia. The Foley's catheter can be used for post nasal packing, and it is less uncomfortable. So what is done in post nasal packing is, it is done under general anesthesia. The catheter is inserted through the both nostrils, which that may come out through the mouth, and the gauze is tied to the catheter, and the catheter is pulled out till the gauze pack in the nasopharynx. The gauze should be packed into the nasopharynx. That is the postnasal packing. It is done under general anesthesia. Then other local management, that is if the bleeding is due to crusting. Okay, we have seen the bleeding epistaxis is because of crusting also. क्रस्ट फॉर्म हो रहा है तो भी ब्लीडिंग होता है, तो यू हैव टू अप्लाई दी ऑइंटमेंट्स और वैसलीन और घी or oil or butter in the nose so that crust won't form. Okay, if the crust form, patient will try to remove that crust, and again there will be crust formation or blood clot will be formed, and again patient will try to remove that clot, and again there will be bleeding. So you have to keep the nasal cavity uh, lubricated with the help of Vaseline or ghee or oil or butter, etc. So lubricants are also used to keep the nasal cavity moist. Then lastly, there is systemic management. The systemic management, it includes blood pressure control. If the bleeding is because of hypertension, then you have to control the blood pressure. Then you have to monitor the pulse and the respiration. Then replacement of lost blood. You have to replace the blood loss. Then if the patient is in the shock like condition, then you have to do the treatment for shock. Then some coagulants are used like calcium, vitamin C, vitamin K, or ethamsilate are routinely used, but their efficacy is doubtful. So coagulants used are calcium, vitamin C, or vitamin K. Then you have to give antibiotics to prevent the infection after nasal packing. After nasal packing, you have to give antibiotics to prevent the infection. Okay, and lastly, there is surgical management, that is ligation. If in intractable cases, there may be requirement of ligation of external carotid artery or maxillary artery or anterior ethmoidal artery. Okay, if the bleeding does not stop with above procedures, then you have to go for surgical management of the case, that is ligation. You have to ligate the external carotid artery or maxillary artery or anterior ethmoidal artery. So because of ligation, the bleeding will stop. So this is the treatment. Once again, I will repeat the treatment. First one is specific cause is treated. Okay, first treatment. If you know the specific cause, then you have to treat that specific cause. Then second one is first aid. First aid क्या करना है? Ice packing or cold packing करना है. Because of vasospasm, bleeding will stop. Or you have to pinch the nose for 1 minute, and because of pinching, there will be stoppage of blood, or there is a procedure that is Trotter's procedure that is used in hypertensive epistaxis. If the patient is having bleeding because of hypertension, then Trotter's procedure is used. Patient has to sit up with slightly inclined forward, and mouth should be open. And then he should breathe quietly, and the blood should not allowed to swallow, but patient should spit it out. Okay, and this is the first aid. Okay, third treatment is local management. Local management include cautery. If the bleeding point is visible, then you have to cauterize with 15% silver nitrate. Then second one is packing. Packing includes anterior packing or post nasal packing. Anterior packing is done when the epistaxis persist. As after first aid, if the epistaxis persists, then you have to go for anterior packing. That is, nose is packed with ribbon gauze, or that is ribbon gauze with lubricant like Vaseline or paraffin, liquid paraffin. And second one is post nasal packing, which is done under general anesthesia. If the bleeding continues in spite of anterior nasal packing, then post nasal packing is done, and it is performed under general anesthesia. And third one is lubricants. You have to use the lubricants like ointment, Vaseline, ghee, or oil, or butter. That should be applied into the nasal cavity so that the nasal cavity remains moist and there will be no crust formation. This is the local management, and next fourth is systemic management. That is, you have to monitor the BP, pulse, and respiration of the patient. You have to control the blood pressure of the patient. Then you have to replace the lost blood. Then if the patient is in shock, then you have to uh, treat that condition. Then some anticoagulants are used like calcium and vitamin C or vitamin K, and antibiotics are given to prevent the infection after nasal packing. This is the systemic management. And lastly, surgical management. That is, if the in intractable cases, okay, if the bleeding persists with all above measures, then you have to go for ligation of external carotid artery or maxillary artery or anterior ethmoidal artery. So this is all about the epistaxis. Any difficulty? Is there any difficulty? Okay, there are, so this can be asked as a 20 marks or 10 marks question, and there are various 2 marks question that are present in epistaxis, that is um, Trotter's procedure that can be asked. Okay, so I will stop here. Okay, chalo, bye everyone.